All right, guys, today we're going to take a tour of the Alucab Mod Cap multi-purpose canopy and rooftop tent. Now, this is the newest rooftop tent for the Mod Cap system. This is not the one that pops up a wedge style like my Alucab Gen 3R. This one actually pops out to the side and has a massive amount of sleeping space as well as internal room inside the canopy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Alucab's canopy campers, they're a series of products that they have where it's a cap and rooftop tent built in all in one. The Mod Cap, though, the reason for mod is because it is modular. You can buy the canopy and you can get a roof piece for it. You don't actually have to put the rooftop tent on it. Then you can take that roof off and you can add one of their two rooftop tents to it. They have a wedge style and they have what this one here, the latest one and the one that I really want to see, and we're going to take you guys on a tour of today, and that is the clamshell style tent, and it has a ton of room in it. But unlike what I have on my tent where it's a separate cap and rooftop tent, this one, once you take that roof off, what I just explained to you guys a second ago, and you put the tent on, you can walk through the bed of your truck and the canopy into the rooftop tent. It's super slick. So it's all closed up here. We're gonna get this set up in a few minutes, and I'll take you guys through the whole setup process. I'll give you guys a tour and walkthrough of the Alucab Mod Cap and this massive rooftop tent on here, and we'll talk about some of the specifications and the pieces that you have to buy to make this happen, and give you guys some of my thoughts of Alucab's latest modular camper system. It's super slick. Our friends here at Capit have this on a Toyota Tacoma, unfortunately, but you know, it'll be just fine for this video. It's not a Jeep, but they have a beautiful blue Gladiator right next to it. I think that should be on there. What do you guys think? I'm just kidding, Toyota fam. This is a beautiful Tacoma here. I really like it. So, good morning, Gretchen.
How's it going? How's it going?
So Gretchen is here as well, and she's gonna give us a hand on the tour and filming. So thank you for getting up this morning and coming to help me.
It's a fun little pleasure of mine.
So we're here at Capit in Duncan on Vancouver Island, and Capit has retail stores all over Western Canada, and they do more than just caps. They sell overlanding, outdoor, off-road kind of accessories as well, such as the Alucab Mod Cap. Probably thinking, oh, this is not very good, it's on a short bed. Alucab does make this in several different bed sizes. They have different installation kits, so this one just happens to be on a shorter bed Toyota Tacoma. And as I was mentioning, so this comes as a canopy. You can buy just the canopy, then you can get the roof kit for it. You don't actually have to have a rooftop tent on it. So if you don't want to have the extra height of a rooftop tent all the time, you can take your tent off and still be left with a canopy that you can convert and walk through into your rooftop tent when you want to go out camping. And this one, the Mod Cap, hangs over the top of the cab of the vehicle because this is going to give you a ton of internal space. And we have a nice glass outside. We've got locking, covered locks and releases here. Glass, I think this comes in a solid panel as well as a glass panel. And we've got a chimney sticking out here. So I'll show you guys in a second. We've got a propane heater inside, and we've got room for our propane tank on the outside as well. And it has custom brackets. Alucab has a whole sort of integration of products. We've got the shadow wing awning on here as well. This is the one that I have on my Gladiator. I love this awning. It's huge and it's super easy to set up, and it's quite a bit more lightweight than a lot of other awnings out there. That's what it looks like from the outside. I think it would look fairly similar on a Gladiator. I think this is the contour canopy on here. This looks like mine. Oh, hello, puppy. Hello. The guys at Capit have a interesting sense of humor. Okay, what do you guys think? Let's get this set up and see how easy it is. I'm not going to do it because I have no idea. But Brad, you don't have to say anything on camera. But how about just a quick intro? So this is Brad. He is the owner and operator of Capit here in Duncan.
You betcha.
And
happy to be in Duncan for the last 10 months. So happy to work with the off-roading community and all of our local businesses to outfit their trucks. So thanks for coming to check out the mod cap.
I've heard a lot of great things about the Duncan Capit from some of my friends up in this area, so it's
Well, that's
nice
great to hear.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And you are an expert at more of an expert than I am at opening this, because
There we go.
I just watched Brad close this and I'm like, I feel like I need to watch a video to do this. So here we are, we've got a video. So Brad is going to set this up for us, and then we'll do a walkthrough tour. No pressure.
No pressure.
I'll edit out any swear words. So as I mentioned to you guys, this is not a wedge, this is a clamshell style bump out, which gives you a ton of space if you've got your family. I think that's one of the bigger things to think about if you're looking at the wedge style versus the clamshell style. And you see as Brad pops this open, it is massive inside, but it gives you lots more sleeping room. As well, you don't have to have the entire inside popped up, which I'll show you guys. You'll understand what I'm talking about in a second. You can have a bed and you can have tons of room to hang out because of this design. And I'll go through all the dimensions with you guys once we get inside the tent. So we open the clamshell. Now it doesn't have a massive piece. This isn't like huge like some of the other rooftop tents that pop out the side. It's only about, I don't know, 2 feet that pops out. And then you set up a couple of these supports here to keep it from sagging. So I like that you can set this all up from the ground. You don't need to be inside to get it done. Although if this was on the Demonator 8 feet in the air, it would definitely be, you'd need a step stool or a ladder of some sort. And that's it. I feel like you just opened an Airbnb here. I've noticed it's massive. Holy moly. So that's it, we're set up?
We're set up.
We're
We just
set
have
up.
to open up the inside and the awning.
Let's show these guys how this latch system works. So you do have to take your tailgate off for this. And the cap is pretty much a permanent installation. Like you're not taking this cap off like you are with the Contour Canopy or anything like that.
Nice little stool to get in, and then we just pop up. A single pop up.
Okay,
Gives
so
you access.
similar to the wedge ones where you can pop up a part of it, but the wedge ones pop up front to back. This one pops up side to side.
Yeah, that allows you to step and hop in.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to change or do any activities down here or still have somebody sleeping, you can pop up the entire
Both sides.
inside.
But you still get a full bed towards the front of the truck. Cool.
And then you just have to move your final piece of padding in here.
Awesome.
Your camp.
So we've got this massive rear tailgate. So as I was just saying, you replace your tailgate. Now, Gretchen was just asking about, can you get locked in here? Oh, this is actually on a gas strut too.
Oh, look
eh?
at that. Nice.
So even if you have a bunch of weight on here, it's not gonna kill you opening this.
Yeah.
But it actually has a system that you can lock it from the inside, and then you can set this latch so that you cannot change the position of this latch when the door is closed, so somebody can't come up and lock you in. It doesn't stop somebody from coming and closing your tailgate though, so if you've got a tailgate carrier with your spare, something to think about. But for you guys asking questions, you can't get locked in here if you set this upright. Oh, I can't do this with one hand
Here,
though.
I'll hold it.
So up. Oh yeah, so you just leave it like that and then latch it from the inside, and then
Yeah, it cannot be
do
locked.
You can't change this while it's closed, but if you let that out just a bit, right? So then we can, how does that work?
Like
there we go, like that. You gotta have the handle way over, and they even have a spot for padlocks if you wanna lock all your gear in here. You can securely stow it. We've got, what do we got here? We've got a water? Oh, because that goes to the water system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Gravity water.
Gravity, okay. So we'll show you guys, because there's a water tank. It is optional, it's optional, right? It is optional. A lot of the Alucab stuff is optional. We've got space to bolt on a propane tank here. This is an add-on as well. It's not part of it. But we've got Molly panels on here. I think the Molly panels are extra too.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we've got the propane heater right here. So this is the exhaust for the propane heater, which I've heard great things from some of my friends that have the Alucab camper already. And this thing will keep your canopy and camper super warm, and it's quite efficient. It's nice to have everything just kind of plumbed in. So we've got the propane plumbed in here. We've got the water plumbed in. And what's on this side, Brad?
Barbecue nipples. If you,
Oh, okay. So we've got a barbecue outlet that also is
connected to that.
so you don't have to do anything. You just get a hose. You can run it to your propane fire or your barbecue or whatever you need.
Yep.
I feel like you need a bigger propane tank though.
In this case, you can run your barbecue right on.
And then we've got the drop down table here on the tailgate tire carrier. Is this an Alucab setup? Do you know? That's not. Yeah. Okay. We'll skip over that. We're doing Alucabs. All right, back to the rooftop tent. Brad, I wasn't sure. Do you know if this comes in glass and it has different panels?
Sides or glass.
Okay, so you can get either or on here. Not everybody wants glass because it's easier to break into. All right, what do you guys say we hop in and do a little tour of the inside? Whoa, that's like, that has got a lot of gas charge to it. Careful, Gretchen.
Yeah.
Almost took Gretchen.
I mean, you could have like a couple $100 on this door and it'd be laughing.
I guess, hey, like the whole storage system that we have on here, we've got a light, which is nice. So you can kind of pop this open and see everything. But Alucab has given it a gas strut that has a ton of charge in it. But this is nice. I mean, you can pop this open, you get access to all your, easy access stuff like kitchen stuff, because you've got your tailgate table here next to it. And
what I really like is how everything, you can just get just the bare bones kit, or you can option it out to the moon. And it's all, you decide what you want to get. So if you want to be super cheap about it and you just want the bare bones and do it all yourself, you can do that. But if you can just pick and choose, like, oh, I want this option, All
right, let's hop inside. So, you will want to have some sort of step. Where is that? Some sort of step to get in, because you are having to step up into a tailgate. And if you have a modded or off lifted truck, that's going to be even worse. So I got to watch my head getting in here, because you still got to go through that part. But look at this. You can come in here, stand up, and hang out. Come on in, Gretchen.
What?
And so this is what I really like about this kind of setup. So you get the option with the mod cap to have a canopy. You can put the roof here. You can take this off. But then when you want to go out, you put your tent on, remove the roof piece, and then you get the pass-through. You don't ever actually have to leave your camper if you don't want to.
No, yeah, this is really nice. Like if it's the weather's just like not cooperating with you, you could just kind of
post up in here.
Yeah,
Good for the dog too.
Yeah, actually.
Like Charlie, right?
Yeah.
Because instead of having to lug your dog up a ladder, you get him in the bed.
Yeah.
And then it's a little easier. He can sleep down below.
He can sleep down here, or he can sleep up. But it's easier to kind of get him up and in.
Give you guys a little tour of the inside. So, as I was saying, the other style of mod cap tent you can get on here is a wedge style. So the entire floor lifts up, and then there's a space at the front that you can kind of climb up and over. But you don't get anywhere to sleep when you have, you don't get as much space to stand and have space to sleep. In this style, you get this whole front bunk. This is, I think, wide enough. We'll measure it in a second, but it looks wide enough that you could sleep sideways on the tent instead of having to sleep front to back. Now you can sleep where we are right here, as Brad showed us when he was setting this up. This is two pieces, so you can drop down one of these pieces and you can still stand up where Gretchen is, and you get a bigger bed. So
yeah, it'd be great for the mornings, if you and your partner or somebody else, your kid or whatever, are in here, one of you can get up and get, out and have an early morning, but without kind of tearing up the bed to...
Exactly. Look at this. We've got a huge skylight as well. And this has a screen on it. And then we have a plastic piece on top of it to keep the water out as part of the fly. And this has a zipper on it. So yeah, it's just all rolled up. So you can close this. Alucab uses very dark fabric. It's all blackout fabric. So if you close this window up, this side window, it is going to be like a cave in here, which I see a bunch of lighting. So
Yeah.
Alucab has a pile of lighting. We'll go look at some of the other features that are going on here. I see an electrical wires all over the place. Sit down here, look at this. This is great. We can just kind of sit down. So these are not part of the system. This is, these look like goose gear, a goose gear configuration for this. So you can kind of customize this however you want with cabinets, and kind of get the setup the way you want it. Now to my side here, we have the water tank. So the water tank is at the head of the cap, the canopy. So we have a water tank. I'll put the size of it right here on the screen now. And then Alucab sells this cargo management system here that can attach to the water tank as well. So you're not just wasting space by having this big water tank. And then you've got your, of course, it's hard to open at the moment. No, okay, well, we're not gonna open that, but you've got your fill port right here. I need to put the camera down to try to do it.
I wonder where this goes as well.
And then that probably is the water that, where does that go?
Well, because that's intake.
Oh, do we have an actual filler on the
And
outside?
then there's this on.
Oh, we
here.
do. I think, look at that.
I don't know what this is.
What do we got? Where do these, we're trying to figure this out as we
Is this a
go.
breather? That's what it is. That's a breather.
Breather, but we've got a fill port here, which you could fill, like, just open the side port. But we've got a hose that goes to the...
Oh no, that is this breather. That's just so
Oh, it's going around.
So air
Oh,
can
okay.
fill it back
Yeah.
up without water splashing out.
Ah, okay, so there's a breather hose, goes all the way over there, I guess,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And then down below we've got our, oh, there's no water in here.
drain it, I
but
guess?
we've got a valve, which might, to go, oh, this is, you can just kind of go wherever you want with this.
Yeah, you touch a garden hose.
So you can just attach a garden hose. If you want some water outside, you want to shower. And then that is going to be, that's got to be the one that goes to the outside. So we've got the water spigot on the outside as well. So that is, there's a lot going on with that water tank.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
moly. Over here on this side, as I mentioned, we've got the Dickinson propane fireplace, which you're going to be able to run. And this is going to be your source of heat in here. So if you've got this running, you probably want to keep this single side here open, which is fine because now you've got this part of the bed, you've got this part of the bed, which is a huge bed. I need to go get my tape measure, but this is a huge bed. And then the heat's gonna come up and keep this place roasty toasty. And you could actually, you probably have like a kid or something sleep even on this piece if you wanted, but go get the tape measure out.
Yeah.
We've got tons of electrical wired in here. We've got lights above us. I'm assuming these are all, yeah. Oh, they're nice touch. I need to get these lights in my Alucab because mine have a little switch on them.
Oh.
These.
Little touch. That's nice.
That's fancier. I need to talk to the guys about seeing if we can upgrade those. So we've got a one light there. And then we've got one light over here. And I'm assuming this is wired into the truck, but you could probably wire this into whatever battery source that you want. So you probably don't want these lights draining your... Now, if you didn't want to power your entire Alucab mod cap off of your vehicle's battery because, well, that could leave you stranded, you could throw the Bluetti Elite 200 V2 in there. And with over 2,000 watt hours of battery capacity, that is going to meet tons of your needs in your Canopy camper. And even if you don't have an Alucab mod cap, whether you have a rooftop tent, maybe you're pulling a travel trailer, or you've got a tent, you want to go camping and you need a little bit of extra juice, I highly recommend checking out the Bluetti Elite 200 V2 portable power station. You're not just getting DC power. While this does have a 10 amp 12 volt port on it, as well as several USB ports that can charge your devices at up to 100 watts, you also get a built-in 2600 watt inverter with 4 AC ports. Whether you're in your Canopy camper, your rooftop tent, your truck, or just spending the day at the beach, and you need some household power, Bluetti has you covered.
The Bluetti Elite 200 V2 is built from robust ABS materials and uses automotive-grade LiFePO4 battery cells, all while operating at a whisper-quiet 16 decibels under low power loads. Bluetti also includes a 5-year warranty, and its advanced batteries are built for 6,000 plus charges.
So if you want to pick up a Bluetti Elite 200 V2, you can check out this QR code that's on the screen right now, as well as I'll leave some links down the description and pinned comment. And there's even a coupon code if you want to save a few bucks on this or anything on Bluetti's website. You can use the code Casey250. And a huge thanks to Bluetti for sponsoring this week's video. Let's get back to the walkthrough of the Alucab Canopy camper. What happens when this is down? Oh, just go through that frame there.
Yeah.
Nope, no extra ones. But you can see the blackout screen for the top is rolled up there. Oh, we do get another one behind it. So, Gretchen's getting squashed.
I'm fine.
But we get another light if you pull the other panel down. And then what you guys can see here, I'll get a closer shot, but we've got USB and 12 volt in the corner on both sides. So when you're sleeping in here, both you and whoever else is sleeping in here have access to some power for charging your phones or whatever it is you need power in the evening. And I guess if we have this up, I guess you could kind of access that other one. Do we have any other power in here that we can run stuff off of? The only thing I would think would be an improvement, and maybe we're just not seeing it, would be to have some sort of power in the kind of standing area.
Like in here?
Yeah, maybe it's just hidden behind some of the goose gears stuff.
Oh, right here.
Oh,
Look at that.
hey!
Look at that.
So we do have power
Quick charge.
off to the side right here, built into the wall. So that's why we couldn't see it was built into the wall. So we've got tons of USB and 12 volt all over here, and that, as I was just saying, here's the other one towards the front. And this looks like a pass-through.
For diesel heater.
For a diesel heater, if you didn't. Now the propane heater is obviously not stock with this, it's an add-on. Does that go through to the outside? Yeah, it's got a Velcro.
May have never been opened before.
First time open.
But yeah, no, that'll pass a 3-inch hose through.
Yeah, so you can pass through your diesel heater through to the
And
inside.
there's one on the other side I noticed as well.
If you don't get the propane heater, you want an outside diesel heater, you want to hang it on the outside. We've got one on the front and one on the back. Wow, this is quite the setup.
I mean, I'm not as tall as you, but I could comfortably sleep this way.
Yeah,
This is all right.
that's pretty good.
I'm laughing here.
And honestly, like, you know, even being like 6'2",
You
could
be a
just
little bit
slide a little bit on the side, right?
Yeah, like you could, like, you know, you and your wife could go out. You could be in a fight and you'd be sleeping all the way over there. You got like 6 feet between you.
Yeah.
This is so much room.
I'm gonna get the tape measure out. I gotta see how big this bed is.
You could easily sleep a family of 4.
It's
here.
bigger than a king-size bed. All right, we've got the trusty Lufkin. We'll go inside and measure this up. Definitely you wanna have a step system for getting out of here. The Zarg's aluminum case is excellent because it gives you storage. You can put stuff out there. I need to get some of those cases. All right, let's measure this. So side to side, we've got, oh yeah, that's 6 feet, 5 inches. And you've got a little bit of play because you've got some headroom where the clamshell is. So this is 6'5".
Wow.
Yeah. So I can fully lay down there side to side on this. Now, if we're going this way, the first bed is 42 inches. So that's a pretty good width for a bed on its own. And then we've got, we'll just measure these additional panels. So you could drop down one more panel, get another 28 inches, drop down another panel, get another 24 inches for a total of about 52 inches of total bed space. So 6'2". I'm gonna climb up here because I want to try this. So I think just as we move around in here, you definitely want to add something like this goose gear because it makes stepping up into the bed a whole lot easier. Now, I'll try not to get my grubby feet all over the place in here, but oh yeah, look at that. Holy smokes. Yeah. This is nuts. We could have a party in here.
Man, this is great.
Look at this, like, hello. Like,
I mean, like this. I could share a tent with somebody if I got this.
That you weren't
space.
super, that you weren't super comfortable with. It's like, because like you're way over. Like I'm not even jammed against the wall.
We're like easily 5 feet apart. Like,
yeah,
this is wild.
I would feel comfortable having like a friend sleep in here. But like if you've got a family of 3 or 4, Chef John with his 2 boys and his wife. I mean, you could have you and your wife and your kids, or you could have your kids sleeping over in this section so that when you get up, you just get up over there and they can keep sleeping and you don't have to disturb them. Here's a look from both our perspectives. So I'm sitting here, not even, this This is something.
Yeah.
This is bigger than Chef John's Roof Nest XL that he has.
Yeah.
And you get this beautiful view over here. Like,
Lot.
you can look at the parking lot of wherever you're staying. In this case, cap it, but
No, but if you had like a little beachfront or something, or some mountain view or something, and then these also open up as well. And oh my goodness, do these?
can you climb out of there?
You can open just the screen,
That is.
or you can open
yes.
the whole door.
So that is this built into the, yes, so that is an Alucab. This is what I want every tent manufacturer to adopt, is the one-piece door and screen. So you don't need to open the screen, you don't need to open two things to climb in. You just open the door, and then the panel is part of the door, so if you want the screen, and so every time you're getting in and out of your tent,
You're not opening two.
exactly, this is what I keep talking about. This is what I want everyone to understand.
And then the zippers get caught together and you're fighting with it. Oh my goodness. I don't understand how, like, this can't be much more effort than just having the two things integrated. So.
I agree with you 100%. So that's a feature of Alucab I talk about in every rooftop tent review, that just make the doors and screens one panel, and then the solid panel drops down to open the screen out. But that's how it is for the doors. And then you get this beautiful skylight here. Like, if you guys want to lay in bed and watch the stars, how great is that?
It's pretty nice.
Or you could put a projector and put a movie
There you go.
on the panel or something like that. Plastic panel on the outside, then you get the screen, and then you get the blackout panel. Now this looks like it's two piece. It's just the doors that they do one piece, but I'm okay with that because you're not climbing in and out of the skylight. I'm not gonna bother measuring up the camper part inside of the bed because, as I mentioned at the start, these come in different sizes depending on your bed size. So you have to order these specific to the truck model. If you got a Gladiator, you get the Gladiator one. You get the Taco, you get the Taco one. You got a Ram 3500, full-size bed, you get the long. So you're gonna get even more space. I've seen the other Canopy campers, and they call it the Canopy cabin, because it's so big if you get the full-size model. So if you have a 6 or 6.5 foot bed on a full-size truck, you're gonna get a ton of space. And I guess you would get, I wonder if you get a bigger, I wonder if this tent wouldn't be bigger, it just wouldn't overhang as much over.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
But I guess.
We'll check with Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think because then you'd have like you can start renting it out.
Yeah. You gotta put like dividers in for separate rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, you could honestly
You
almost
could.
do that with this.
So you can leave this open. You guys can see the propane heater down here. If it's, I guess that is the one drawback with having the propane heater. So you probably need to keep this open if you want to keep it warm up here, if you have the propane heater. Otherwise, you need to attach a diesel heater and go through the diesel heater ports on the sides. And if you don't have the goose gear in here, I guess just get more aluminum boxes to climb down onto. But this is nice. You can just climb down, and you can get out. You can still stand right here. Now this goose gear kind of juts out a little bit more right here, but very flexible system. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you guys probably saw this, we got more pockets all along there as well. Now, as far as this mattress goes, I didn't measure. I just want to see just how thick this mattress is. Now, this has an insulation kind of layer on here. There's no anti-condensation mat under here. And then we get a, let's say 2 3/4 inch mattress. It feels very similar to the mattress that I have in my Alucab Gen 3R. So it's comfortable, but if you're more of a picky sleeper, you have hip issues like I do, you might want to put a little bit of a foamy on top of here. Now, the question is, well, how much can we store in here with this closed? Because this is beveled out, so the cap of this is beveled out. We're gonna have to flip this bed panel over. So there's definitely enough space within, like you can see how this rounds out. It's not flat, it bevels out. So it's got enough space to flip this over and store it. So I'm gonna say that from here over, you could probably store all your bedding and quite a bit of stuff, because this is more space than the Gen 3R tent has when it's open. So you could probably flip your foamy over or rotate it sideways if you just have one, some sort of additional foam mattress on here for more comfort. Lots of space. Okay, and all right, so let's get out of here. I'll give you some of my final thoughts on this as Brad closes it back up and shows you just how easy it is to stow this when you're done and want to move.
Okay, as far as weight goes, the model that we're looking at here is the shorter box bed model. The tent itself is going to weigh about 172 kilograms, which is about 379 pounds. And then you have to add in the weight of the base, which is going to depend on the length of your truck bed. That's going to range anywhere between 80 kilograms, or about 176 pounds, to 110 kilograms, or 242 pounds, if you have a longer bed. In addition, accessories like the goose gear cabinets, propane heater, and adding things like the accessory molly panels are going to be on top of this weight. And don't forget, if you fill that water tank up, it is going to add some additional weight as well. Alucab also has other accessories like the mod cap kitchen, which mounts to the inside of the door, which is going to add to the weight once again if you decide to add that as an additional accessory. But that's a great place to store things like your cookware, your dishes, and it includes a drop-down bamboo table if you don't have an external tire carrier with one on there. It's a really great system, and they have lots of add-ons to the Alucab family of products. Now, as far as cost goes, well, this is definitely going to be a lot more than a rooftop tent. Right now, the ModCap camper midsize with a family camper starts at around $18,000 Canadian, with price increases for longer beds, things like glass windows, and then any of those accessories that you want to add to it that they have designed specifically for the ModCap family. So it isn't too hard to get this up and over $20,000 Canadian. Who do I think this is for? Well, this is a great solution if you don't want to jump into a full-sized off-road camper like an Overland Explorer vehicles or four-wheel camper. This is going to be a lot lighter as well as a lot cheaper, and you get some flexibility to configure just how the inside is and set up exactly how you want. And as I mentioned, this is going to weigh a lot less than other full-size drop-in campers. And it's going to give you the flexibility if you want to get out to more remote locations because of the size and overall weight of this. However, installing this into the bed of your truck is fairly permanent. You can remove it, but it isn't like pulling out a drop-in or slide-in camper. It's installed and you leave it there until a future date that you want to just get rid of the ModCap camper all around. And also, setup and teardown of this is very quick. As you can see, Brad has teared this down and put it away in about 4 minutes, which is pretty awesome for how much you get out of this camper and how much space you get within the sleeping area.
All right, huge thanks to Brad for letting us check this out and setting it up for us and closing it down. If you guys have any questions, you want to know anything about it, leave it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And remember guys, we are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, and to do that, we've got to beat the YouTube algorithm. So share the video with your friends, leave likes, leave comments, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see other reviews and off-road adventures, hit subscribe. I appreciate it a ton. With that said, my name is Casey. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.